I just finished doing portfolio reviews over at Photo NOLA, and this was my second year here. I'm more impressed with the event every year. It's so well organized, and the spirit of the community to be involved is fantastic. This year, it seemed that I saw photographers from all over the country, so I'm excited for Photo NOLA that they're drawing people from everywhere. It's certainly an event that's going to be on more people's radar without any question going forward. It was so well organized. I love that we began with the Thursday night event at the museum, and it was the time for a lot of the photographers and the reviewers to begin to get to know each other, so that by the time we end up at our portfolio review tables, we've had some time together. On Friday, when we had the education day, I was really honored to be able to give a lecture during that, and again, it was another opportunity for the community that's coming together to have their reviews, to have a chance to have some education. Those of you that know me know I'm a big fan of having an educational component when we all come together. One airfare, one hotel, why not make sure we're discussing relevant issues in the field at that time. Orientation, then people had a chance to ask questions, get a little bit more familiar with the circumstance and the layout of the review events, the timing and such, so that by the time we started in on Saturday morning, we were really ready to go. So with the way that Photo NOLA runs it is that we had 20 minutes to meet with individual photographers, and then there was a buffer of 10 minutes, which we as reviewers really appreciate. It means that you may not have to pack up quite as quickly those, shall we say, extraordinary vellum prints or your oversized things don't have to be crammed into the tube so fast. If we want to continue on a train of thought and write something down towards the end, we can. But on the other hand, if you've got a back-to-back review, you know that you can get out of there on time and move on and be ready for your next 20 minutes. It's hard for all of you to take notes in between, and I really encourage more of you to bring a small tape deck. You know, certainly ask the reviewer if that's fine. But I was kind of surprised at how few people did bring a tape deck. It's just hard to remember while you're shuffling prints and thinking about things to take notes at the same time, so bring a tape deck. I think that will help all of you. And then I have to say, I feel like this year I wasn't overwhelmed with too many portfolios from an individual photographer. I think a lot of people were heeding the advice to be conscientious about 20 minutes, one table. Those are the real defining elements for that moment of review. And so I felt like things were really manageable from all the photographers that chose me. I will say another extraordinary thing about Photo NOLA is that this year I was given my slate of photographers that I was to meet with days ahead of time. It was amazing. So not only could the photographers do their homework about who they were seeing and really look deeply at the previous exhibitions of a curator or a gallery owner, or certainly what's ahead, get a sense of what their culture of that gallery is, what their real love is, do searches and see if they've been writing, if they're on educational panels, what is their area of expertise. But for us, we were able to go in and look at the website of all 24 of the people we were about to meet with. So it was, for me, it was fantastic. I feel like I did my homework to honor those photographers that had chosen to meet with me, as well as having the great opportunity to then really begin our discussion kind of here instead of at the very beginning. I already knew quite a bit about them. Being a marketing person, and actually this year I gave quite an extensive lecture on the web and the language of the web and being effective on the web. So my advice tended to be straight to their website. Having analyzed it ahead of time, we were able to really take a hard look at it and see if it did in fact effectively communicate. So there we are in the reviews then. I've done my homework, they've done their homework, we've got our 20 minutes. We do 12 reviews every day. It's quite a bit. Saturday night there was an amazing roster of gallery openings and group shows, solo shows, things happening all over New Orleans. It was wonderful. And then Sunday we're back at it. We're back at the review table for 12 more photographers. And another thing that's unique about Photo NOLA is that we have the opportunity to rank our favorite 3 portfolios that we saw. One of my favorite parts of Photo NOLA is on the Saturday night between our 2 days of reviews. the New Orleans Photo Alliance comes together in a much bigger way with the Photo NOLA event and invites the entire community to come and see the work of the photographers who are participating in the Photo NOLA reviews, which is such a gift for us as reviewers, because not only do we have a chance to see the 24 photographers that were able to schedule meetings with us, but we get to see the work of everyone who's there, as well as introduce your community into the work that year, which can only serve to grow the photography community here in New Orleans and the excitement about the Photo NOLA events. So when we are asked as reviewers to select our top 3 picks from the weekend, we can reach beyond the 24 portfolios that we saw and in fact nominate someone that we saw on the portfolio review walk, which I think is a great opportunity for all of us. People often ask me about Photo NOLA in the context of their portfolio review events in the country. You know, they'll say, if I can only go to one, which one should I go to? What's more international? What's the best value? You know, I often say the one that you should go to first and foremost is the one that's nearest you, where you're not investing in hotel and airfare to go to, or the one where you have family and friends that you can go to. Now I see more and more photographers that are loving these events, deciding way ahead they're going to be roommates, they're going to share some expenses that way, and head out to the event that makes most sense to them. I really admire the Photo NOLA event for a number of different reasons. It's a great event to test your work in many different markets. For example, this weekend we had people from the fine art community, we had really sage photojournalists that were photo editors from the photojournalism and documentary community that were here. We had one of the photo editors from the New Yorker that was here. We also had people from the publishing world. We had book agents, as well as, again, museum curators, gallery owners, freelance and independent curators as well. So a little bit of everything. Some of the portfolio review events are all fine art. In my mind, in today's marketplace, I'm more excited about people being at review events where there's a much broader range of people representing the broader marketplace today. The walls are down between fine art and commercial and documentary and photojournalism. It's not unlikely that Whitney Johnson, for example, who was here from the New Yorker, who is one of the individuals there that selects images for the fiction illustration, not unlikely at all that she would reach to someone from the fine art community who may never have been asked to license an image for illustration before. And vice versa, there may have been someone that the photo editor from Newsweek saw that had never crossed over into that market. Or I can tell you, people that have careers in commercial and in documentary who had personal bodies of work I felt very strongly would apply and be of interest to the fine art community. So I really love that the review slate, the individuals selected to be here, is really diverse. And so that's one of the most important things to me. But I have to say, in talking about branding, as we did extensively in my lecture on Friday about the web, when I think about the Photo NOLA brand as a portfolio review event, certainly the graphics have a strong sensibility, and we all kind of know the look of Photo NOLA as related to and grown from the look and brand of the New Orleans Photo Alliance. But I have to say, when I really sit down and talk about Photo NOLA, the brand is not just the look of its graphic identity. The brand of Photo NOLA is, without any question, the people. The people involved in Photo NOLA that come out of Photo Alliance, the people that are the incredible volunteer team here, they really are the brand that makes up Photo NOLA.